Hi everyone, my name is Kevin and I'm an advisor here in the Faculty of Applied Sciences, and I'm here to talk about waitlists. I want to keep this to about 2 or 3 minutes or so let's dive right in. Let's start off by heading to the Academic Advising and Student Affairs webpage. If you scroll down past the upcoming live advising sessions, you'll see on the right hand side a PDF that is labeled How FAS Waitlists Work. So let's go ahead and talk about the first question here, which is I am on the waitlist. When will I be enrolled? So there are a few things that need to apply here. The first is that you have to make sure you are at the top of that waitlist. The next is there has to be a seat available in all course components. So in addition to the actual lecture itself, this may include your lab or your tutorial. The next is meeting your GPA and course prerequisites. So this not only includes your actual prerequisite for that particular course, but also your particular school's requirements in regard to a minimum GPA. So check out your respective school's policies to get an understanding of what that is for you. The next is conflicts. You have to make sure that there is no conflict in your schedule. The system won't actually let you enroll in a class if you have another class that conflicts with it. The next is reserve group. You have to be a part of the reserve group, and we'll talk about that next in the second question here. Some of you might find yourself in a situation where you see a class, you're ready to enroll in it, and you see that there's space and you enroll and you're on the wait list. So why is that? If we take a look here at this made up class, there are 100 seats, and of those 100 seats, there are 90 students in it right now. If you were, let's say, a computing student trying to get in this class, you'll notice that that portion of their reserve group is full. And the space that you see is actually space that's reserved for engineering science. So now you're probably wondering, how will I ever get into that class? So this actually covers it right here in the third question. So let's say classes have begun and you're still on the wait list. There's a date, usually 6 days after the first day of classes, where wait lists are frozen. What this means is that students can no longer add themselves to the wait list, but if you were on the wait list prior to this date, it still holds true. So if we take a look at example 2, right here, the red icons represent students that are part of the reserve group, whereas the gray icons are students that are not part of the reserve group. For the sake of explanation, let's say that there are 8 students in this waitlist and there are seats available in this class. The order in which students will be put into that class will be a combination of waitlist position and whether or not they're part of the reserve group. So in this case, this student will get into the class, then this student, and then this student, and then this student. Even though this red icon or student is in 5th in line, they will still get priority into that class. So let's go back to the timeline that we have here. There will be a lift date, which is usually indicated in the course notes. And at this lift date, priority will end. So what this means is that for students that were on the waitlist and are not part of the reserve group, they will have an opportunity to get into the class. So the last question is, what courses can FAS Advising help with? Anything in applied sciences: engineering science, computing science, mechatronics systems engineering, sustainable energy engineering, and the one oddball is Math 101. It's actually the only math course that we own here in applied sciences. So I hope that helped you get an understanding as to how waitlists work. If you have any more questions, feel free to email us at asadvise@sfu.ca. Alternatively, we'll see you next time in advising. See ya.